Hello, it's Alpita. Thank you for your patience as I was getting my coffee. I know it's noon, but I'm doing this hot lemon water and eating protein before I have my coffee. So I'm drinking my coffee later in the day. And also this morning, I got up, I don't want to say late. I got up when my body needed me to get up. And so, yeah. So, okay. So today I've only got 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, because we're heading to the park. Yay! It's a nice day. It's a little cloudy, but we are headed to the park. So let's talk about life purpose. So welcome to Feng Shui Friday. Do you know what your life's purpose is? So let's start, I don't want to say at the bottom, but yes. So first thing is, your life's purpose isn't always what you do for your business or your job or whatever. Okay. And it's so interesting because as I was scrolling this morning, I saw something that said your life purpose is not what you do in your business, but something like how other people feel about what you do. I don't know. Anyway, I don't remember that because I was scrolling quickly. But so your life purpose isn't like necessarily an electrician. It is I don't know. Maybe it's like updating like Victorian homes so their houses don't burn down because the electrical wiring is so outdated. I know that's a stretch, but it's like our purpose is what the result that we get for people. It's not our title. It's not massage therapist. It's not tarot reader. It's not any of that. And so, and I speak from experience where it's like, I don't know what I do. I don't know what my life purpose is. I don't want to say I don't know what I do. I know I always make people feel heard and seen and valued and validated. Okay. I always make people feel that. They'll come to me, whether it's as a tarot reader, a medium, life coach, business consultant, doesn't matter what hat I'm wearing. Every time I make them feel better about themselves. I help them regain their self-confidence that might have been taken away by people that either were well-meaning or malicious and put them down. I help them see themselves. I help them remember the beautiful divine being that they are, okay? Which is really interesting because I was looking at my life purpose area, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So I want to tell you that no matter what you are doing, no matter how lost you feel or confused or overwhelmed you are, somehow, somewhere you are doing your life purpose. So I remember a long time ago, like 13 years ago, 14 years ago, when I was waitressing and I was still being a psychic. Okay. I was still tuning into people and giving guidance. Sometimes they would be like, oh, they don't know what to get. And I'd be like, I'm telling you, like, I can't tell you how many times this would happen. At least a couple times a shift. Okay. And at one point I was working three shifts a week, right? Where somebody would be like, they don't know what they want to eat. And I'd be like, turkey club, no mayo, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, how did you know? And I would just laugh and I'm like, I'm a psychic. And they're like, really? And then I started giving out business cards. I didn't get any clients, but I just would know, right? I just would know and it would just come out of my mouth. And that's just how my gift works. Speaking of which, if you're interested in exploring your psychic gifts, little little commercial break here. There are 4 spots left, maybe 3 spots left, in the Inner Knowing Mentorship. It is 9 weeks. We start Thursday, April 9th. It is $397. If you'd like a payment plan, absolutely let me know. We'll figure that out. But this is where we are going to be discovering what your psychic gifts based upon your astrology and your human design. We're going to be talking about how the psychic gifts show up because it's not always what you think. You're already probably doing it. I guarantee you, you're already doing it, regardless if you think you're intuitive or psychic or not. You are. And then I'll do a demo. We'll talk about how they show up, what it is. We'll go through like most of them. Actually, I think we're going through all of them, actually. 1 week, we're like touching on Claire Aliens and Claire Gustafson, which is taste and smell. I think I got those backwards. But anyway, and things like that. We're going to do mediumship. I will do a demo on one of the students in the class, and then you'll be able to go into breakout rooms and practice with each other. And then you'll also have little side quests that you get to practice, because that's the point, is like really recognizing it when it shows up and also doing it deliberately. So that's my little pitch for the Inner Knowing mentorship. If you're interested in that, you can comment below or contact me, okay, through DM, through email. Yeah. So life's purpose, you're already doing it. I don't care if you hate your job. I do care if you hate your job, because that's another problem. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what you are doing. You are always living your life purpose. And no, your life purpose isn't just to be here, although it is part of it. But you are an important piece of the big picture of this world. And your life purpose, whether you're aware of it or not, you're always doing it. Okay? Now, how do we get clarity using Feng Shui? Lots of ways, okay? So first and foremost, let's talk about where the life purpose, or career as it's sometimes called. Career is a modern interpretation. In the original Chinese roots of Feng Shui, it is called life purpose, okay? So it is the wall that the door is on, whether it's your bedroom, your office, your home. If it is the driveway, it is that side where the driveway meets the road, and it is the center, like literally the center, okay? So it's the center of the front piece of your property. It's the center wall of your bedroom. Again, the wall that the door is on, okay? So for a lot of people, their front door is, their career area. In my bedroom, it's not the door. It's the space next to the door. I'm actually looking at it. It's not what's in front of me, but it's right there. And it's actually where the cat food is, and the cat water bowl. The other thing, I'll get to that in a second. So first is identifying that. The center of the wall that the door is on. And if you're looking at your property, it is that line that meets the road, okay? The center of that. Regardless if your property is irregularly shaped, that's a whole other conversation. Your property's not a regular shape, and regular they mean like square or rectangle. It's still the center. It's still the center. Okay. And it could be where your driveway meets the road. It might not be. Not everybody's, property is set up that way. Not everybody's home has a door in the center. But it is where usually the front door is. So what the first thing I'm going to tell you to do, declutter and clean. Clean, declutter, and clean. Okay? And I know I've been working on that. That's one of the areas that, especially if your front door is there, is the most cluttered, right? So creating organizational systems is really helpful. Like I have a coat rack, but there's just like a bunch of crap on it. So it's not as bad as I think it is. It's, I go over there and I'm like, it's not that bad. I mean, I have a bucket that I throw things in that I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing with this. So that's kind of organized. I have bags hanging from the hooks. Some of those really need to be dealt with. It's not as bad as I think it is, but I would really like that to just not be anything there, right? Next to it, I have a small bookcase that has my eBay stuff. I have a printer. I have my thermal printer for labels. I have my scale there. Next to that is this cabinet. That's my magical cabinet. So I have my herbs and oils and things like that. And on top is the TV and the Xbox. So there's more. And also usually the floor is what is accumulates stuff, and the kitchen table for me, which is another area. But being mindful of it. I actually did some cleaning this week. And I actually, as we talk about, as I show you my space, I put something in the self area, which is the first area that we covered. And then also, look, I did my that's my prosperity area right there. Where's my finger? Okay, right there's my prosperity area. Okay, so I put a little cloth there, and then I, moved things around. I dusted them. I redid my money bowl. So I am practicing what I preach. A lot of times when I talk about it, I'm like, oops, I got to check on that. I got to take care of that. So the first thing is to declutter and clean. Okay, give it a nice deep clean. Okay. The second thing is to notice what's there. Okay? What's there? What is the story it's telling you? I know my Feng Shui teacher, Amy, talked about this client that she had, and there was a painting there of a very turbulent sea and a ship being tossed on the ocean. And in Feng Shui, we don't judge. We ask, tell me the story. I want to hear about, why is this here? Like, what is it, a meaning behind it, right? Because something like that, now, this is the only water area in Feng Shui, in the Feng Shui Bagua. Like, we have one fire and one water. It's really, really important, okay? And this is usually where the mouth of chi is, where the energy comes into your home, okay? So she asked the client, what is this about? And he's like, it was a family heirloom, and it was really special, and I don't remember the whole story. And she's like, but the business was in chaos. Okay, that turbulent ocean that was depicted on that is exactly what was going on financially in that business, right? So she was like, okay, that's great. We want something here that feels more positive and uplifting, not judging, just saying this might not be the right spot. Maybe we can find a better space for it. And that's what they did, okay, and brought something more appropriate there. So now, mind you, 3 years ago, I created a course and ran a course called Written in the Stars. It's about using human design and Feng Shui to, one, figure out what you want in your life, and two, to make changes. Use Feng Shui to make changes, right? And so, as I was going through this class, I made changes in my room. I've talked about it. The purple sheets, the purple blanket, the purple curtain, blah, blah, blah. And one of the things that I put in the only thing I put in my career area was this. So this is a diamond painting that I did. This is the symbol for Aquarius, okay? Yes, it's also the wavy lines, but this is, how Aquarius is depicted. These are the waters of consciousness. Now, Aquarius is an air sign, I know. But this represents consciousness, right? Like, we are the vessel that holds universal knowledge, consciousness. There's no accident that I'm a psychic, that I'm a medium, that I can channel the universe for you, okay? And then pouring it into the world, okay? And this is just a canvas, like literally a white canvas that I covered with black stretch velvet. I got some black stretch velvet from Walmart. You can order it online, 2-yard minimum, in case anybody's interested. They also have other colors. I stretched it on there, and then I glued this on. Now, I did use acrylic matte medium for this to make sure that this is sealed and these things are not going to come off. So I love this. I created it. I love it. I put it together. It's great. And I am an Aquarius, and I do believe that, part of my purpose is, one, to connect people with their individuality, because that's what Aquarius is about. It is about humanity, but it's about our individuality, right? We are in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is also, we are the visionaries. We see things way before other people do, okay? And, that's part of my job as a business consultant and a life coach, is to help people expand their view of what their life could look like, what their business could look like. I do that. Okay. And also Aquarius is one of, we all, okay, let me say this differently. Every sign has its psychic abilities. Aquarius, we tend to be more eclectic in that, okay? We're just more tuned in because that's how we were designed, okay? So just like some people are more mechanically inclined, some people are more psychically inclined. And actually, if you look at my chart, I have like the wildest placements, and like almost every single one of them is like psychic ability. It's not a coincidence that part of my income comes from doing tarot readings and mediumship sessions, right? And also now I'm doing this inner knowing mentorship. So I am living my purpose. All the ideas that I get, like I will sit down and be like, okay, I want to create. So I don't know if I don't think I posted them on my personal page. Anyway, I sat down the other day and I was just like, oh, I want to make some pieces for our April goddesses. So the birthstone for April is diamond, but the alternatives are crystal quartz and ruby. And I actually have some Brazilian ruby beads. And I sat here and I was just like, I want to do something with both of those. And I want it to be dynamic, and I want it to have dangles. And I have these like teardrop, faceted teardrop crystal quartz beads. Let me show you. Because like I could just sit here. And I was just like, so I just sit here and play. And I move things around. I took the ruby beads out. I made a bunch of earrings because those are easy for me to do. Because I have these beautiful sterling silver hoops that I just string beads on, right? Now, it sounds easier than it is, because sometimes inspiration can be challenging. Like I wanted to do some stuff for aquamarine, and of course now I can't find the necklace. But anyway, oh, here it is. Never mind. I wonder if the aquamarine one is handy too. Okay, so all right, so I'm just trust me, this has something to do with that. So I sat down, and because I am like so enamored with these ruby Brazilian rubies, and this is for sale. It's $250. It's sterling silver Brazilian ruby beads. It is adjustable. Okay, so you see these? Aren't they yummy? Oh my god, they're a little tangled right now. There we go. And then we've got these Brazilian ruby beads, right? Okay, so it's just a yummy piece. So I knew I wanted to start with those teardrops, and I knew I wanted the rubies, and it took time. Like I tried a whole bunch of different things, right? And there's a pattern there. I always like a pattern. I like a little symmetry. Well, I think I want to make some asymmetrical stuff this month. This came together very, very quickly and very easily because I was just inspired by the materials that I was working with, right? And there are matching earrings as well. Or if you just want a pair of earrings, I have those as well. But I have beef with the gemstone aquamarine, which is April's birthstone, because my ex thought my birthday was March 13th and bought me an aquamarine pendant, and that was insulting to me, especially when I'm very like, my birthday is really easy to remember. I was born on Friday the 13th. He got that part right, but I was born the day before Valentine's Day. It's not that difficult. So I had a hard time with this piece because, and this one is on sale right now for $115. This is supposed to look like a little paw print. I saw a tutorial online. I tried it. I kind of like it. But this took me like 3 weeks of like, I knew I wanted aquamarine. This is blue apatite and then sterling silver beads. And I knew I wanted those, but like, yeah, I tried different things, different sterling silver beads, different, I had like little moon shape, like flat discs that went the other way, like they were flat. And it just took forever. And then finally, Wednesday night, I was able to complete it. And also, just to kind of add that like Pisces theme in there, the clasp is a mermaid. So if anybody's interested in these, just message me. And so again, this one's $115. There is one pair of matching earrings for this one. The other one actually has 2 pairs of matching earrings, and that's the ruby. So when I am inspired, when I am allowing the whatever I'm working on, whether it's with a client or making this, or I'm making, tarot bags or witch hats. Right now I'm working on some tarot wraps. If you don't know what a tarot wrap is, it's got like a pocket and then a piece unfolds and you can do your reading right on the wrap. It's just like, I love it. So I have a client who's ordering a bunch and we're trying to coordinate fabrics and linings and things like that. I love that process, right? And then she also wants an altar cloth, and I love making my altar cloths reversible. So we're trying to find the, matching fabric. So when I am inspired, when I love what I'm doing, it just, right, with the rubies, right? With the aquamarine, because I have a story, because we all have stories, we all have trauma or negative events that have happened to us. Obviously I kind of stall. I'll have issues with it, right? And that's what happens with our life purpose. So even though I knew I wanted to make some aquamarine jewelry for March, I really didn't make as much as I wanted because I have this negative connotation with aquamarine because of my ex. And that's my shit. And some people be like, well, that's just silly. Well, to me, when you're dating someone and they, are interested, and he gave that to me like right before he proposed. And it was just like, he like gave me a bracelet, and then he gave me a necklace, and then he proposed, like literally in the sort of the same transaction, for lack of a better word. And I did say yes, because I did care about him. And, but we have these stories. It's like, if you really cared about me, you'd know my birthday. That's kind of like really important, especially since like I do astrology, right? And he knew these things about me. So if we have like some people are like, they don't believe that they're psychics, or they would, they were a medium, a natural born medium when they were a child, but their family was just like, stop doing that. You're making it up. That's your imaginary friend. It's not real. You're scaring me, whatever. And they shut it down, or they, they suppress it, they repress it. It's there, but they ignore it, or they can develop psychological issues and mental health issues because they're shutting down a part of them that's very vital and important in their purpose for being on this earth. Okay, so your life purpose is really important. And the things that we've gone through are either supporting our life purpose and helping us cultivate it and like help it grow, or they're making us shrink. Okay. And I had that as a kid. Like a lot of times I'm the kind of intuitive where like I just open my mouth and stuff comes out of it. Yes, I'm a clairvoyant. Yes, I'm a clairaudient. Clairaudient is kind of recent for me. In the past couple of years, I've been really playing with it. I'm like, oh, I was already doing it. Yay. And now I've been working with it. And again, a lot of that stuff, all of that stuff is stuff that we will be exploring in the Inner Knowing mentorship. So if that interests you, definitely message me, because, we start next week. So, but I was told, like, I would say stuff like my parents would have their friends over or whatever, and they'd be having not adult conversations as in like inappropriate, but like they were having conversation, and I would pipe up and say something, and they'd be like, you don't know what you're talking about. And so I was just like, okay. I wasn't making it up. It's just, I would open my mouth and stuff would come out. And this is part of the reason we look at our human design in this Inner Knowing program, because I have gate 51, which is the gate of shock. And a lot of times the way that it exhibits is literally open mouth, insert foot. It just does. So those things will give you clues as to how your gift shows up, right? And what gifts you were born with, right? But anyway, I was told you don't know what you're talking about. And it took till I was 22 when I was waitressing. And one of my coworkers, we were having Greek coffee. It was a Greek pizza restaurant, and we were having Greek coffee. And my mom was a Greek coffee ground reader, not as a profession, but she did it at home with her friends, right? And so, well, I know how to do it. It's a gift. It's okay. It's part of clairvoyance, actually, seeing patterns, right? So anyway, my coworker was like, hey, okay. So I do his cup, and I notice, and now he's Ecuadorian, lot tanner than I am, yummy, warm color that I wish I could achieve, but I only burn. But anyway, and I said, okay, like, I see here that you have another family in Ecuador, right? And that you send them money. And he turned paler than me. And he goes, Alpita, you do not know what you're talking about. And that's when the light bulb went on for me. And I was like, holy shit, when I hit a nerve, when I speak the truth, gate of shock here, gate 51 in human design, that's what people say to deflect. Instead of owning it and saying, oh my God, how do you know what's going on? Is there something I need to be worried about with my first family in Ecuador? They deflect, they gaslight, right? Because I've hit a nerve. So those sort of experiences will get in the way of your life purpose. Now, I didn't allow it to get in my way. Like, I just can't turn it off. So I don't want to turn it off. I would just be like, okay, that doesn't resonate. I mean, I knew it did, but I just dropped the conversation. He wasn't open to talking about it, right? So my point is that we're always living our life purpose. However, the way that we use Feng Shui in order to really bring that out, and remember, this is also career. So this is a place where you could do something about a raise, promotion, new job, or something like that. But if you do not know what your life purpose is, one, you can hire a life coach like me and business consultant to help you. I do have offers like that, packages like that. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Message me. However, one thing that you could do that is Feng Shui related is put a crystal there for clarity. You can just put a piece of crystal quartz if you've got like a shelf or bookcase or someplace, a ledge that you can put it on. Like if I wanted to do that, there's a window there. I could put it in the windowsill. You could get a crystal like one of those faceted round crystals. I think I have one right here. Hold on. I do. So these are like, oh, well, not this one, but you get one like this, but you can get a round one like this. So when they talk about Feng Shui crystals, it's usually the round one. It's like completely round, but it's faceted, and you can hang that in that area. Again, I really strongly recommend that it makes sense with your decor. Okay. I have a wall right there. I'm not going to just hang a crystal like that because that just makes no sense. There's no window there. There's no reason to hang that sort of crystal. What I can do, which is what I am going to do as I'm going through this series for you guys and looking at my space and saying, what can I do? Because again, I put this up there 3 years ago and, things have changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back up there because I love it. Okay. I'm going to put a red envelope, Chinese red envelope on the back, and inside of it, I'm going to set my intention. I'm going to write down my intention around my life purpose. So you could do something like that. When you do an intention, so let's say you have a piece of artwork there and you are struggling with life purpose, or you want more opportunities to come in that are aligned with your life purpose, you can, either just take a piece of paper and tape it to the back, write your intention on the back, I could even write my intention on the back if I wanted to. Or you can use a Chinese red envelope. I really love the Chinese red envelopes. They just really add that. But you're going to tape it to the back and then you're going to hang it up. Nobody's going to see it. And then you do the 3 secret reinforcements, which is a ritual that I do sell. It's $9. It's a PDF and a video. And it really does amplify your intentions by 130%. Okay. Every time I've done one without the 3 secret reinforcements, like it just kind of falls flat. When I do the 3 secret reinforcements, like stuff moves quickly. I know I've mentioned this before, but I did something in my fame and reputation area a couple years ago, and I had like 5 people reach out to me for an offer, like on a Sunday, between Sunday and Monday. So from a group that I had never posted in. So this shit works and it works fast. Okay. So, declutter, clean, put a crystal there, some sort of crystal quartz, right? Or one of the Feng Shui crystals to bring in clarity. Again, if it makes sense. The other thing that you can do is if there's a window there, you can wash it with intention and say, I clean this, as a reflection of my intention to gain clarity as to my life purpose and what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. You can also say, as to what my life purpose is and how I can make money doing it. Okay. That's another thing that you can add. There's really not many things that you can't ask for in Feng Shui. But the main thing is declutter, clean, as always, but also what do you see there? Like for me, I'm noticing that the mat underneath the cat food is dirty. So that's something I need to address. Okay. The cat bowls, like my son just fed the cats cat food, and there's some cat food like on the stand, so that I can deal with. There's not much else that I can do with that, right? It's a wall. Okay. So again, I'm going to put my picture up there. I'm going to put my intention on the back. And so you don't have to like tear everything down. You don't have to redecorate your entire house. You can just pick one thing over there that symbolizes what it is that you are looking for and set it. You can literally just like I took it off the wall, I'm going to go put it back on there and do the 3 secret reinforcements. Right now, I'm not even going to do the piece of paper because we need to get going because we are meeting a friend at the park. So later today or tomorrow, I'll do my intention with the piece of paper. But just for right now, I'm going to hang it back up there and set my intention. That's powerful. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need like all this feng shui paraphernalia. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying that like every single consultation that I've ever done, and I've done a lot. I've been a certified feng shui practitioner now for over 15 years. And I think 17. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And every time the person has had what they needed, or they've needed to purchase very little. Like occasionally they'll pick up a crystal or a pair of wind chimes. I had a woman who I was just like, you need a mirror. These are the specifications of the mirror. And she's like, I don't have anything like that. And as a psychic, I'm just tuning into her space because a lot of times I do these remote and I'm like, so this is where we kind of go into remote viewing, which we're going to touch on in the Inner Knowing program, but that's a whole course in itself. And I was just like, hall closet. And like, as she's on the phone with me, she's like, oh my God, I totally forgot I had that. She's like, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. That's part of my clairvoyance. Okay. But it's actually called remote viewing, right? So where you're able to see another person's space, like remotely, right? Without the benefit of Zoom. Okay. So, every time you have what you need. If you want to go and buy things, like I did upgrade my bedding and stuff like that because it needed it, because it was old and because it was my ex's colors and not my colors, you can do that. And you can do that in little bits and pieces. Like throughout my home, ever since my ex left, I bought a purple coffee pot. I bought purple canisters for my coffee and my sugar. Like every month I would buy a few things and upgrade. I didn't have to do it all at once. I didn't have the budget to do it all at once. Let's be honest, right? So declutter, clean, notice what's there. If there's something there, if there's chaos there, if it's something like dark and gloomy and like doesn't feel good, right? You definitely you might want to move that. Okay. Or you can set a different intention, right? And then place something there that either is around finding your purpose, or it's not even finding your purpose, it's recognizing your purpose. So maybe the intention isn't to find your purpose, because I feel like I know every single client I've had, and I've had a lot of clients over the years, and they're like, they don't know what they want to do. And I'm like, what do you want to do? And they're like, this, and this. And I'll look at their human design and I'm like, that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. So how we do it, how we make money, how we create happiness and joy and stuff like that is a whole other conversation. And that's where, if you're interested in being supported in that, I invite you to reach out. And I have one client that reached out to me that I reached out to because I felt like, life coaching would be helpful. And I've created this 3-month one-on-one life coaching container. And it is customizable. So we can definitely if you're interested in that, let me know and I'll send you the details. And we can talk and see if this is something for you. So, and we can work on the feng shui of it and helping you get clarity. But I want you to remember that you're already doing it. It doesn't matter if you know what it is. I know it's frustrating. It's been frustrating for me as well over the years. It's like, is that my purpose? Are you my purpose? Right? But sometimes we just have to like relax and be like, what am I doing that I enjoy, that people value, that people get benefit from, that helps the world, right? And sometimes it's all sorts of things, right? So for me, really, it's empowering women to follow their dreams, okay? And to use their intuition to get to that. So that shows up as a tarot reading. That shows up as mediumship. That shows up as life coaching and business consulting. Sometimes that shows up as a piece of jewelry. Each piece of jewelry has metaphysical properties that I share with you so that you know that this piece will support you in these things, right? Sometimes people buy it because it's really pretty, and then they find out what the metaphysical properties are, and they're like, oh my God, I so need that. Every single time, right? So I'm always living my life purpose. Whether I acknowledge it or not, I am. But when we know what it is, and we decide to bring it into our business and monetize it, that's a whole other conversation, right? And Feng Shui can help with that. Life coaching, business consulting with me can help with that. I may not be the mentor for you, so, definitely reach out. And if I don't feel like we're a fit, because I'm very eclectic and some people like very structured, which is fine. I can do structured to a point. But if you want something that's like super, super formulaic, it's not my thing, right? I will help you create your own plan, because I think that's what's really important. Like, one of the things that I work with women in life coaching is helping them find their own rhythm, which is what I've been working on, right? And I mean, rhythm is like, what is your sleep schedule? Not what society tells you that like, oh, if you want to be a millionaire, get up at 5 a.m. That's not everybody. And in today's global society, 5 a.m. where? What time zone? What is this magical 5 a.m.? Because if it's 5 a.m. in my time zone and I'm working with clients in Australia, it's 7 p.m. at their time zone, and they're like eating dinner and watching TV or whatever. They're not up. I mean, they're up, but they're not open for business, right? So this 5 a.m. is just a myth. Like it's these people discover that that's what worked for them, and then they put it out there as if it's like gospel, and it's not. We all need to find our own rhythm. I find, and it's so funny because I found somebody on Facebook that was saying the same thing, that if I'm well rested, doesn't matter what time I get up or go to bed, those are the days that I'm going to be the most productive. Those are the days that I'm going to be the most clear, as in my intuitive abilities. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm not saying that every day I have to be productive. Sometimes productive is laying in bed all day and reading a book, because that's what I need. That's my self-care, right? That's the other thing. Like, I'm trying this hot lemon water and protein before I have my coffee. And so far, I'm really liking it. And I've really am noticing a difference. I'm trying all these little things that for years I've been like, oh, I wonder if that would really help me. It's been like sitting in the back of my mind, and I'm finally taking action. Part of that is the fire horse energy. Part of that is that we're in Aries season. Part of it is I got tired of not having enough energy. I got tired of making myself wrong, because this morning I got up at 10:30. It's like the only thing on my agenda is this live, meeting my friend at 1:30 at the park so my kids can play and we can catch up, and then picking up groceries. That's all that's on my agenda. I already did all my things. I put my posts out there. I'm finishing up my live. Like, not every day has to be like, nose to the grindstone, right? I was actually working with ChatGPT at one point, and he's like, Elpida, you're not creating a Victorian sweatshop. You do not need to make 3 million tarot bags and 3 million witch hats and 3 million. Your brand is one of a kind. So stop. And he didn't say that, but anyway, but seriously, what are we doing? What are we doing with our lives? We're taught that it's all about productivity and make more and do more and make more money. But it's like, what if you created higher quality products, one of a kind products, which is what my brand is about. And so you're selling less, but you're making more. Everybody's formula for success is different, just like everybody's life purpose is different. And Feng Shui can really help you see, by looking at that area, what is going on, what are you creating, and what is in alignment for you to do. Okay. So, let me just recap real quick. Declutter, clean, notice what is there. If you're looking at it and be like, this is my life purpose area, what is it telling me? If there's chaos there, no wonder you're confused and overwhelmed, right? And I don't mean that in a judgment. That kind of sound a little judgy, but it's like, seriously, like ask yourself, if that's the area where your clutter shows up and you always find that you're doing everything but working on your business or career or whatever, that's a clue. So do some decluttering and cleaning. Go back to step 1, declutter. Step 2, clean. Okay, now what is it saying? And it is, Feng Shui is a little bit of that. Like, go back to the top. Okay, you got to this point, go back to the top. Now, what do you want that area to say? If you don't know what your life purpose is, that's where we would put some crystal quartz. Or if there's a window there, we would wash the window. Simple. Take the curtain down, wash the curtain. And I'm saying that for myself too, because of my home, that there's a window there. Okay. And I did find that after I like moved stuff around, because like the printer area had gotten all messed up because my boys moved things around, and I found that I felt clearer after I put everything back the way that it needed to be. And I did some decluttering, and there are like 2 bags that need to go like to Goodwill, and I'm going to grab those today. Glad I remembered that. So creating order there will help you find clarity too. So it's not necessarily putting something there. The decluttering and the cleaning is like the most important part a lot of the times. And then your placement is the icing on the cake. Okay. And I'm not saying that to be like, don't get a Feng Shui consultation, which I do have one available. I offer one a week. It's called the Reclaim and Reset. We look at one area of your life, one deep desire, and I look at your Feng Shui and your human design and your Chinese astrology, and I help you get clarity in that area and give you placements to do, and also action steps. Because a lot of times, yeah, we're going to do these things, but the way that I'm getting clients in my Inner Knowing mentorship is by messaging people, by putting posts up there, by emailing people. People are not going to find it just because I'm sitting here and be like, I opened an Inner Knowing mentorship program. Okay? Doesn't work that way. So there are always actions that we need to take. Not always, most of the time. Okay. So, yeah. And then setting the intention with the 3 secret reinforcements. I'm telling you, this is the chef's kiss. If you like that ritual, it's only $9. It's a PDF and a video. Message me, let me know, and I will send that over to you. So any placement that you put there, anything that you put there, even the cleaning and decluttering, you can use the 3 secret reinforcements ritual to help you reinforce that and to create those changes much, much faster. Trust me, it works really quickly. Okay. The Inner Knowing program mentorship is 9 weeks. It's $397. Payment plans are available. We start Thursday, April 9th. Sign-ups close today, but if you know you're interested and we just need to, whatever, you need to couple days in order to get your payment in, that's fine. Message me as soon as you can so we can get that taken care of. I've got 4 spots left in that, so let me know. If you would like a reclaim and reset session, a Feng Shui session, this is a 90-minute Zoom session. It is $333, and we will be focusing on one area of your life that you want to go deep and really create the results that you want in that area. Okay. And that will include Feng Shui, Chinese astrology, and human design. And you will leave with an actual Google Doc with all your action steps. So let's say we were working on your career area or life purpose area. It would say declutter, clean, like move this, put this here, and I'll even help you come up with your intentions. A lot of times I'll give you like a intention that I'm getting intuitively, and you can either use that or you can modify it when in that moment. Okay. And you'll also get the 3 secret reinforcements ritual as part of that offer. So if you're interested in the pieces of jewelry that I shared today or anything else, you can message me as well. They are up on eBay as well under Mystical Mama 13. If you like to do purchase through there. Tarot readings are available for starting at $50 for 20 minutes. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and occasionally on Friday mornings. So let me know, reach out to me. I still have the April reading for 30 minutes for $75. That's a standard price. But if you'd like to do a reading for April and to just see what April has, we will go week by week and also create an action plan for that as well. Mediumship sessions are the same, $50 for 20 minutes. Just make sure that you let me know that you want mediumship, okay? And we can do a combination of mediumship or tarot, but I do find that occasionally I will have a person like literally like the Zoom is, we're almost done, and they'll be like, do you see anyone around me? And then it's kind of like, I've got like a couple minutes to give you information. Let me know ahead of time that you want me to tune in and see if there are any loved ones that are around you, and we will make sure we have time for that at the end, okay? Yeah, we'll schedule that appropriately. It's like a pace myself and make sure I have time for that, because I know that's important, okay? What else? Oh, and then the life coaching. So if you are interested in being supported for the next 3 months in an area, it could also be business consulting. That's a different offer, but it still would be 3 months working together. Usually what I like to do is we do a 90-minute session at the beginning, and then one at the end. At the beginning, we're looking at what is it that you want to work on? What is going on? I'll look at your human design and see where you are out of alignment, where you're not really living according to your rhythms and according to your design. And then we'll come up with an action plan, and every week we'll meet and I will support you. Like, what was the resistance? Really what we're looking for there is like, what is the resistance and how can I support you in shifting things, a mindset, action, so that you can actually take action on the things that you love, okay? And actually create the things that you love, whether it's in your personal life or in your business. And this could be health goals. It could be personal care goals. That's a big one for me, and that I've really helped a few clients on. It could be business. It could be anything, okay? It could be discovering your passion and your purpose, okay? So, and those are all custom, and there's also support in between. You can message me during the week and I will get back to you and I will give you guidance if you're struggling with something, if you need help. I know sometimes for me, like, I'm like, I did this and, what do I do next? And then I need to go back to the drawing board and be like, okay, there's nothing more to do, Alpita. Go read a book. Go spend time with your kids. Go whatever. Speaking of which, I need to get going. So, I hope you've enjoyed this session of Feng Shui Friday. Next week, we are going to be looking at helpful people and travel. So this actually includes clients, referrals, networking, in the business realm, right? So it's not just helpful people is like your friends, it's your community, right? But it also, if you're a business owner, it's your clients, it's people that refer people to you, it's your colleagues, it's your network, it's your audience, it's your target market, it's all those things. So we're going to be talking about that next week. So I hope you'll join me next Friday for Feng Shui Friday. And I hope you guys have a great day. Take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.